sure you drink that. Good, thank you, thank you. Good luck. Nobody's chasing you.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Nobody's chasing you.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Está bien?
All right, you take care, all right? Pleasure. Thank you. You're thirsty, right? Yeah, you gotta have water. Even if you don't have food, you gotta have water, okay? What is your name? Okay. All right, you take care, all right? All right, take care. No, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I'll throw this out, okay?
They're on their way, okay? They're on their way.
Don't worry about it.
I got my
Let me give you one more, okay? You take care. Where you from? Good. You on the train a lot? Oh, good. We're gonna take care of you, okay? All right. You'll be good. Because we don't see National Guardsmen doing anything but acting like mannequins, we're going to have to increase our numbers, increase the training, and increase our presence, as we did back in 1979. We went from 13 to 1,000 back then, within a period of a year, because the need was there. The need is here now once again. We're going to step up. We're going to make sure we have a visual presence like we had back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
What are you going to do? I'm going to wait 1 second until the train.
Well, in our day and night patrols, three-person patrols, we're all together. We're walking through the cars, which is something the police no longer do. Notice there are no mental health workers, there are no crisis intervention. They have all these fancy names. I never see them. And we spend millions of dollars, I might add. Our job is, A, do a wellness check on a homeless person. If they're homeless or emotionally disturbed, see if they're okay. If all of a sudden we walk into a situation where there's an episode, which oftentimes happens, we have to calm it down. A lot of times, these homeless and emotionally disturbed persons, they know of the guardian angels. We can have a calming effect. We can also bring the situation to the attention of cops on the platform. If there are cops, you're going to probably see them on the platforms. Generally, that's why we always stick our heads out at the station, and we always check to the north, to the south. If there are any police officers, we would hold the door open, tell the conductor, we need the police presence here. Citizens won't do that because, unfortunately, the Daniel Penny effect has frozen them. They're not going to get involved. I've seen grown men who normally might have gotten involved. They're just not getting involved any longer. We train, this is what we do, we know how to do it, and we'll coordinate it once we get on the train with the conductor, who obviously has more freedom than the motorman, but we'll obviously make sure that that train is stopped and that the police respond and that we keep order in the car so that nobody gets hurt, including the emotionally disturbed person or the homeless person.
And Curtis, you said it's worse it's ever been. What should be done? What would you like to see done to maybe change this?
What I'd like to see done is our politicians stop with the nonsense of the analytics. Crime is down. What a joke. The mayor is going to have his State of the City address on the 9th, and I guarantee he's going to have these huge placards behind him. Subway crime down, 10 straight months. And everybody looks at that and laughs. Anybody who's in the subway says, where? What subway line? What station? What neighborhood is crime down? Find me one person. We've had hundreds of calls. I conduct a radio program. People are calling me, get in the subways. I'm not even talking about the subway sometimes. I'm talking about national geopolitical issues. Curtis, can you please bring the Guardian Angels back in the subway? I was mugged last week at 71st Continental Avenue in the middle of a discussion about something totally unrelated. It shows you that people are on edge. And the elected officials are not responding at all. It's almost like they've put their hands up and they're saying no mas, no mas. They've given up. How do you let emotionally disturbed people and homeless people use the subways as a moving hotel and you do nothing about it? And they always say, well, it's the state, it's the city. They point fingers, which way did we go? We're going to do something about it. We got to show as volunteers, not paid, risking our life. We're going to show the city and the state what they should be doing. And maybe we can shame them into action. Shame them to do something instead of just talk about it, which is all they do of late. Talk about how great it is, the perception of crime, how crime is down, what a wonderful Shangri-La life. Guess what? Every time I see Adams, a few times he's in the subway, Hochul is surrounded by 12 police officers with guns. Of course they're safe and secure. Come on down into the belly of the beast. Come into Dante's Inferno every day, every night, without your security officers, without their guns, and I guarantee you they'd be afraid to come into the subway, both Adams and Hochul. You've been on the train. Okay. All right. Well, just take care of yourself, all right? Yeah, thank you. It's been a week since the unfortunate situation of a woman, and we still don't know the identity of, who was torched by the illegal migrant, and it was a day in which nobody did anything. Nobody. Cops walked by, you could see she was right in the door, all lit up, didn't even bother to intervene. Nobody from the MTA. This is always a busy station and junction. None of the passengers. The most they did was film it. And the guy who did it all, who torched her, actually made things worse when he took his jacket off and just kept fanning the flames. Nobody stopped him. Nobody dropped her to the floor. Nobody rolled her. Nobody tried to put out the flames. There seemed to be nothing done. Many people have referred to it as the penny effect. And there's no doubt that people are frozen and somewhat hesitant to do anything nowadays. Not even when they see something, say something, they're not even doing anything. So with a week having elapsed, and as we can see with just a few trains that have come in, it's a moving homeless hotel of emotionally disturbed persons, of homeless people who live on the subways. The city does nothing about it. There's no intervention. There's no wellness check. We're going to continue to have these kind of problems taking place. And if you notice, you don't even see presence of additional police officers. Generally, in times of tremendous crime, you see a surge of cops. It's not a surge of cops because there aren't any police. There aren't enough police. So we have decided that we have to do an intervention based on hundreds of requests of us, both in email form, by text, by phone, in the neighborhoods where we patrol, where we have the Guardian Angel neighborhood patrols, and have had such since the summer of 2020. People have said to us, we need you back in the subways. That's where you were birthed back in February of 1979 because of incredible problems on the subways. I was the night manager of McDonald's. I formed the Guardian Angels because of the problems in the subways in the Bronx. And ever since, clearly we've had a mission both here and around the world. But people have said, by the hundreds, it's time to come back in the subway.